The second most popular fictional detective in all of Europe. The first, of course, being Sherlock Holmes. Hercule Poirot does not take place at the same time as Sherlock. He is between World Wars I and II. He's in that strange period where everyone kind of was at a standstill and trying to recollect after the Great War, and a certain German national party was on the rise, if you know what I mean. But this takes place in London and certain areas roundabout. However, Hercule, as you could probably guess from the name, is not British. He is Belgian. But in any case, you're not here for a history lesson, you're here to play the game. Ooh, apparently there's collectibles. New game. Be sure to talk to all characters and explore every inch of each environment for clues. Keep your eyes peeled, as evidence will sometimes appear in the most unlikely of places. Recruitment drive sees largest enlisting numbers to police force in years. There he is. Third from the right, Hercule Poirot. You can tell because of the mustache. Brussels Police Department. Brussels is in Belgium. Congratulations, Mr. Poirot. Local pickpocket gang caught red-handed, and there's Hercule. Right there. So he was a policeman in Belgium and emigrated because of the movement of said German Nationalist Party. He emigrated with other people to Britain for safety. Police sting operation sees dual bandits apprehended. Shootout in city shows police blunder and costs valuable life. And so then Hercule leaves the police force and becomes a private detective. Young officer defied orders and acted with no thought of the consequences. Recently transferred from Brussels Police Force, Officer Poirot promises to be equitable and fair in his verdict when judging this year's all-important Garden of the Season award. Hercule Poirot. Yes, I'm going to be saying the name correctly a lot, so you will know by the end of this game exactly how to pronounce the name. Now the question is, interesting. This is before the actual novels, back when he's still in Belgium, before he moves to Britain, because he's still young. Interesting. So this isn't just going to be a recap.
Officer, please, come quickly.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. How can I...
It has become a madhouse. Madame has been shouting and cursing all morning. I've never seen her so angry. But what great luck to happen upon you.
Please, try to remain calm. First,
that's interesting.
May I ask your name?
We don't have time for that. Please, hurry.
And this is a point and click, so there's not going to be a whole lot of action-y moving around, chasing, at least to my knowledge. Prologue, the bracelet.
Mademoiselle, now we are here, I must insist on your name before I can continue any further. I am Officer Hercule Poirot.
And that's how you pronounce it in the actual Belgian accent.
I am Elizabeth, but it is the maidservant that we must consider. Forgive me, officer, but are you new to the area?
I stand out so obviously.
I mean no offense, only I have not seen you before. This is a small town, and you learn everyone's faces very quickly.
Very observant of you, mademoiselle. I was recently posted here from the city. And a good thing I'm here now. Let us get to the bottom.
She doesn't seem to be particularly eager to take us to the madam who's been shouting. She's just as easily willing to tell us all about herself. Okay, so there's gonna be dialogue options.
There has been a theft at the house.
Then I am exactly where I should be, n'est-ce pas?
Heh.
It is only one of Mademoiselle Angeline's most valuable bracelets, taken from her room.
Then its safe return is of the utmost importance.
Madame Van den Bosch, the lady of the house, believes Fleurette is behind it. I'm afraid I do. I know Madame is confident of Fleurette's guilt, but she wouldn't do such a thing. Surely a burglar is responsible, as Mademoiselle believes.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
And yes, a lot of Belgians speak French. New mind unlocked. Believes a burglary is behind the bracelet's disappearance. If that's the case, there will no doubt be signs of an intrusion on the grounds. Whenever Poirot uncovers an interesting area of investigation, an objective is launched. Here you can see all of the evidence relating to your very first objective. Use the mouse to move your cursor. Try highlighting each piece of evidence to see Poirot's interpretation of them. She appears all afluster and yet still acts in a cordial and respectful manner. I knew she was acting odd! Such a beloved piece, it must be worth a great deal. There's probably more on it that we can figure out. It's not often you see crimes committed here. This could be a good chance to solve a real case. And there seems to be conflicting ideas of who is behind the missing bracelet. It's important to pay attention to all vital information for each piece of evidence. This will become more vital as you start making deductions. For now, press right mouse button to return to the scene. Time to find some evidence. Elizabeth mentioned intruders. Let's start with the gravel path. Use left mouse to explore and interact. Try to find clues. You can use mouse wheel to zoom camera in and out as you explore. And it goes in and out. Sorry. Man, he moves fast. I'm actually quite surprised that we're seeing young Poirot, because the actual show / the original book series, he was much older and in Britain. L. Hart. Here is a ladder.
Oh,
2 sets lead away from the house, but only one return hastily. So R brings us back to here. Am I able to? There we go. Now I can see the whole thing. Something more. The garden lawn. So apparently things will just jump out at you when you're close. This could just be the tutorial kind of giving it away, but no signs of trampling, but it's still very unkempt. Yes,
Hmm. Magnifique.
We can now combine. Well, yeah. It's basic. It's the tutorial. Either way, it wants us to talk to Elizabeth again. Seek more information.
Of course, officer. How can I help? There is, sir. Luke, but he was called away from the house on a personal matter. Rahana, our cook, accompanied him.
And there's your culprit.
One set must be mine, leaving to find you. The other set must be Florette's. She was caught in the rain this morning.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Aha.
Oh.
So they didn't climb in the window. It obviously is the ladder.
Huh.
Like, it is in all likelihood the ladder. We've already looked at the overgrown grass, the garden.
Oh.
Probably less important. We've already looked at the footprints. Pretty sure the
Ah.
Haha. Now. Ladder. Open
What a
window.
revelation.
Ah, so there's another item in the garden. It does not seem to go anywhere there.
Of course, officer. How can I help?
Nope. she's got
Merci,
nothing.
mademoiselle.
She has nothing. Useless. Seen that. Nope. Yeah, that must be it.
Hmm.
There we go. Now we come back here. Ah, there's still more. Ah, now we can look at that. Is that what it was? The hidden one that... No. That's the garden lawn. It's Elizabeth herself. Inspect. Okay. Where do I have touch it? Elizabeth. Guard. Interesting. Ah, the bench carving. That's... Yes. More options.
Of course, officer.
The carving on the bench. Forgive me, I was not suggesting anything untoward.
Oh, of course not. Yes.
Would you know the identity of the mysterious L and E?
I'm afraid not. Perhaps they were old residents. A pair of star-crossed lovers, perhaps. Madame does not allow distracting staff relationships.
Star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet the plaque.
Love is not something that can be harnessed so easily.
That is Madame's rule, and I wouldn't want to be the one that challenges her on it.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
That is...
Is there something I am not seeing?
There's still one more something somewhere. I've already seen the open window. Oh. Of course, the front door. Would have thought. Where was this? And of course, Hercule would never intentionally step on flowers, so that was quite clever for them to use the flowers as a barrier. Got that, got that. The mouse just has to be the one to hover over it. Aha!
Ah.
There we go. Now we have everything. Not. So there are apparently 2 links. Or is it that I have 2 links? Well, let's see if that really connects just yet. Hmm.
I must take a different approach.
No signs of tampering or forced entry. Yeah, none of these really indicate that that there was an intruder. We got that. Not really checking any of the downstairs ladders. Can't check that one. Can't check the side gate. We're going to Paris. Wow. It's less of the mystery itself and more of just the point and the click that's throwing me off already. There we go. If I can zoom out, I can sweep more of it. Hardlock path, quote on the plaque. We already know that. Over on grass, we already know that. Front door, we know that. That we know. 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 There's nothing beyond these walls. That's there. And supposedly there's ones I haven't looked at yet. I don't see them. Remember to talk to her about other things?
Of course, officer. How can I help?
No.
Merci.
Okay, so there's only one thing that I can do, and I have to make connections between things. So I'm obviously missing something.
Order and method. That is the way to solve the...
Oh, how did I connect these?
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Did I find some more visitor in the garden? Did someone cover the tracks?
The pieces of the puzzle
There we
are
go.
finally coming together.
Okay. Neither of the doors but damaged from the side of a wanted visitor. There's the other access.
Some would say a
No
lucky
forced
guess.
entrance.
I would say a moment of genius. I must act on thought and fact.
Okay. Oh.
I
There we
should
go.
not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
It was not a burglary. Keep my wits about me. Objective complete.
I have conducted my initial inspection of the house and grounds.
Okay.
It is now necessary for me to speak with those in the house.
Of course. Thank you, officer. I'm sure Madame Van den Bosch will be happy to hear the police are investigating.
I suspect there'll be some people inside who will not be as pleased to hear it. Let us enter. My presence of what Mademoiselle Elizabeth has said she is not one to be on the wrong side of. I must talk to her before beginning my siege. Cassandra.
Who are you? You are not the commanding officer I requested.
No, dear madame, I am Officer Hercule Poirot. I can assure you that,
This will simply not do. I sent Elizabeth to bring me a competent lawman.
And that is what she has brought, madame. Now, I would like to continue my investigation.
You understand correctly. It is my daughter's bracelet. It is a rather expensive piece.
Daughter's bracelet. Why do you have it?
And valuable to your daughter, no doubt. It was a gift.
Yes, it was from her late father, my husband, the Viscount, and it has not gone missing. It was stolen. Don't be ridiculous. I have told you who is guilty. If there had been a break-in, surely it would be your job to stop them.
If it was the case, of course, madame. Although I cannot predict a burglar's movement.
Perhaps then you have proved me right, and you aren't the competent officer I require. I do not believe so. I know so. It was Florette, the maidservant. I knew I could not trust her.
And why is that?
Because I don't. I do not need to explain myself any further, especially to a measly officer.
Merci, madame. You have been most helpful.
New mind map. Yep. Went and dismisses the idea of burglary, which is what we had already. Which is what we'd already most basically confirmed. Let's see, anything in the most character profile, click F to view a list of everyone you've met. That's nice. I do not care. Cute. Nothing in particular about this coat, but what is this in the pocket? A ring. An auction crate.
Aha.
Ah. Kitchen.
Huh.
Collection of books.
Huh.
Ah, there is an upstairs. Can't enter a room that I can enter. Whom I must assume is the daughter. I can only hope she has not tampered with the scene. But before we do that, let us go back to the main hall. That has to talk to Cassandra.
This will not get me any closer to my...
Yeah.
Come, my little grey cells.
That is logically thinking. Wait, what else? There is one.
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second... Things are beginning to...
There's a keen interest in the works of Shakespeare. Okay, so that's the number of links available to discover. I see. First
What do
rules
you
we
think
did.
you're doing in here? Who let you in?
Mademoiselle Angeline, I presume. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Officer Hercule Poirot.
An officer of the law? But what are you doing here? Don't you need to be chasing down the burglar?
Your bracelet has gone missing. It is only correct. I speak with all members of the house and investigate the scene of the crime.
Ah, if we must.
Merci.
She
I
seems
will attempt to
annoyed
take
and
up
wants
as little
people
of your
out.
time as possible.
It is of great value. Money was no object to father.
It was a gift from your father. I can only assume it holds great value to you also.
Of course it does. What a silly thing to say. It's a good thing Maman had it insured with the others.
Insured.
Some rat stole my bracelet this morning. Even though it's clear someone has broken in, Maman refused to listen and blamed Florette.
There is no evidence
You
of
sound
that.
very convinced it was taken by someone from outside of the house.
My window was open when I
Yes.
returned. How else can you explain that? It must have been while I was down at breakfast with Elizabeth. She was with me all morning.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth was with you until you discovered the bracelet was missing?
She was. She woke me up later than usual. I washed and dressed, and we went down to the lounge for breakfast.
You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet.
New mind map, obviously. Leave no stone unturned. Covered in black powder. Soot from the fireplace, obviously. Which we can then investigate the fireplace.
Aha.
Dust recess.
Oh.
Only moved recently.
Huh.
Recently dropped. That's the father.
Oh.
The jewelry box itself. Abandoned poker all the way across the room.
Ah.
The open window, obviously.
Oh.
From the inside and rather forcefully. There are some conversation pieces to add.
The longer you're here, is one bracelet not enough? I have checked everywhere. You can ask Elizabeth if you don't believe me. It is only my bracelet that is missing.
As I have stated, it is my duty to speak with every member of the house, and I would not want to have discovered a further missing piece later. You have been of great help.
Now while we're here... Well, the broken glass comes from
Things are
that.
beginning to become clearer.
Back to Angeline.
This will not get me any closer to...
Well, cleaning rag.
Is there something I am not...
Nope.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
It's forced open by the poker. Yes, the valuables are insured. There's no other connections to do. I must speak to Angeline.
The longer you're... How should I know? I returned to the room and father was face down on the floor. It must have been the burglar.
So it is your father that is the subject.
Isn't he handsome? I remember watching him sit for it. He kept looking across and smiling at me. The artist was getting awfully angry at him.
You have been of great help to my investigation.
Blah 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 was essential. And back to here. Yes, the father. That is all that I am able to do here. So we shall return to the main hall. Nothing of importance here. Do I have any connections? I do not, as of yet. Yep, I knew that would be brought down. So now we will speak to Cassandra.
Really? And what is your point?
May I ask of the subject?
You may not. Honestly, your prying is getting on my last nerve. Only if you are prepared to take Florette away.
It is an offense to incarcerate someone without suitable proof of misdeeds. I must question Mademoiselle Florette to gather her version of events.
If you will not do your duty and lock her up, then I must. She shall remain there, and I, the key holder, until she is led from the room in handcuffs.
And this is when anyone of any notable amount of intelligence would just slap her.
Merci,
But
madame.
that
You
was
have
not
been most helpful.
That was not the way that one behaved at the time. Propriety. Let's see. Still no connections. So again, I must return to the one person who's actually capable of ever giving information. Elizabeth. I have many questions for you
Mademoiselle
now.
Elizabeth, I hope you are feeling less distressed now. I can assure you I shall find the guilty party and the bracelet.
Thank you, officer. Yes. All I want is for Florette to be heard.
Bien sûr. Rest assured she will get the fair trial she deserves. I wonder if you could help me with some questions regarding the house.
Yes.
Of course. Whatever I can do to help. Now I think of it, I don't recall seeing her memento tin. She holds her keepsakes from her father and other gifts or tokens in it. She has such a wonderful collection. She's very lucky. She normally keeps it close, but I didn't see it this morning. When I left, Madame was with Florette in there. Surely she would not have locked her in. It must have been an accident.
Madame van den Bosch should not be deciding her fate. Would you grant me access to speak with her?
I would, sir, but I don't have the key. There is a spare somewhere, though. Oh, how awful, the thought of her locked in there.
Do you have any thoughts as to where I may find it?
I'm sorry. Madame does not trust the staff with such knowledge, even me. Although I did overhear her once say it was hidden somewhere, close to her heart. Whatever that means.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Leave it to Poirot to find a small measure of enjoyment out of it. Okay. Key close to her heart. I've met no characters with an L. Interesting.
I must take a different approach if I am...
Nope.
I must act on thought.
There is one somewhere, though.
Order and method.
Wow, is it really?
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Key discreet enough to hide almost anywhere, even inside of a book. Sweet Elizabeth. First, let's go back over to here. There is no new connections to make.
Certainly, officer. Madame is the one with the refined taste. Angeline and I are much more partial to a simple love story.
Aren't we all? Romeo and Juliet, the most famous of love stories.
At the time.
I do enjoy it so. The passion, the romance. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Madame has a copy upstairs in the main hall.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
More. Full. In we go. Right past the unhelpful lady. And and here is the key. Since you would not help me, I helped myself.
Finally, it is
What exactly do you think you are doing?
If I am to serve justice, I must be able to reach and talk with young Florette.
The girl is guilty and shall pay the price for her crime. I shall see to that. If you wish to listen to her feeble attempts to explain herself, so be it.
Everyone deserves to tell their side of the story, whether a feeble account or not.
That was a guiding motif in a lot of British literature at the time, that the upper crust of society oppressed those beneath them. It's a very classic theme. At last I am able to speak with the accused and hear her version of events. I still have a number of questions. Perhaps she may hold the answers. I like that I can't investigate the room till I speak with her.
Mademoiselle Florette, I presume.
Please, officer. I did nothing wrong. You can't take me away.
Please relax, my dear. If you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about. But it is my duty to investigate all avenues. Ah bon?
Relax. So you don't think I took the bracelet?
As of this moment, I cannot say. But answering my questions honestly will certainly help your case either way.
I didn't even know it was missing till I got accused of taking it. Madame was so angry. She wouldn't listen to me.
There must be some reasoning behind her accusation.
How could I have taken it? I've been in town most of the morning. I was even late coming back. Then I was preparing breakfast. Rihanna the cook is away, so I had to fetch breakfast for the house and prepare it all myself. How does she expect me to do that all on my own?
From what I understand of Madame Van den Bosch, she would not have been best pleased you returned late for breakfast.
Not best pleased? I thought she was going to batter me to death with a baguette. I hid in the kitchen and then tried to stay out of sight in the lounge until breakfast was over. Didn't want to put my head near her jaws while she was still hungry.
Perhaps a brave move under the circumstances. And you did not go upstairs at all.
Madame was singeing a hole in the back of my apron with her glare. I daren't have moved. I was too scared to blink the wrong way. Never mind stamping upstairs. I must just be slow, monsieur. My mother always said I moved like the snail. Maybe I was just happy to be out of the house. Now I am being accused of avoiding my duties? Mais enfin!
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
I'm happy. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's the coat. Yep. Mm-hmm. A personalized handkerchief. EP Elizabeth. Soot smudge. But I fear that Elizabeth took it. Stand without a poker. The poker is upstairs. And yet another note.
Ah.
Well, now we have quite the number. Final demand to telephone.
Magnifique.
Well, that you can connect to here technically, but it won't let me. Missing personalized handkerchief. Hmm. I want to say that it's the handkerchief and the cleaning rag.
What a revelation.
I'm correct. Insufficient cleanup and speak to Elizabeth there. Really? The selection of pastries? That largely untouched. Interesting. Um, hmm.
Come, my little Graycel.
This actually goes
Another
to
success.
there.
I... The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
And that's why. Ah. Well, that was running an errand for Elizabeth. So what was Elizabeth doing that required her to not be there? Interesting.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Poker was moved. And that's all those that we have now. So now we need to speak to people again.
Anything to show. Yes, another thing on my to-do list. I'm afraid it's not in the same condition as when I picked it up.
At whose request?
It was a favor for Lizzie. I didn't mind having to get it.
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
Which was confirmation of what we had already suspected. Yep. I already have my suspicion of the guilty party. It is Elizabeth.
Certainly, officer. Madame is under a great deal of strain. It can't have been easy for her to lose her husband, raising Mademoiselle alone.
With no money.
She can be quick to anger.
And
You
this
have to
moment,
remember,
it sounds as though
this
was
was
such
in
an occasion.
Europe before the time period where women were accepted into the workforce in mass. So for a woman to have her own source of income was extremely rare.
It's not the first time I have had to stand and watch such treatment. I hate to see it. As I said,
Especially
Madame
of
hasn't had the easiest time.
upper echelons of power, the nobility. So the madam would not have her own source of income.
Madame's scolding of Fleurette this morning was the worst I have seen her temper. I wish you could see that Fleurette is just trying to do her best.
Could there have been another reason for such a reaction?
Madame was not happy Fleurette was late. All through breakfast, Madame was watching her with a piercing eye. But she's still learning the way. The lounge? A package?
Oui, it is quite hard to miss.
Oh, how silly of me. I must have had my head in the clouds this morning. I'm sorry, I can't help you further. Besides the terrible rain? No. I woke, began my duties with Mademoiselle. I had already laid out a clean dress. I helped her into it, and prepared her for the day before getting started on tidying her room as neat as a pin.
And the bracelet was still there when you left the room for breakfast?
I'm sure of it. I had it down before Mademoiselle Angeline. Why, yes, officer! I misplaced it after wiping a stain from Mademoiselle Angeline's sleeve at breakfast. You are a great detective.
You are not the first to say.
Ha!
Had she not noticed it herself, I imagine Madame would not allow even the smallest imperfection.
It baffles me how she couldn't have. It was only luck that I spotted it before Madame, and a good thing I did.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your
Elizabeth
assistance
is
has been...
innocent, and it comes back to Angeline, I suspect. Let's see.
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second look at the...
Now the...
What a revelation!
Elizabeth and Luke are forging.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Ah.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Hide fixtures. But there is something else.
Certainly, officer. How could I not be? I may not enjoy his other works, but how can one not be blown away by a story of two so deeply in love that they will risk everything just to be together?
Especially being able to draw similarities between Verona's star-crossed lovers to yourself and your dearest.
But I hadn't told.
Mademoiselle, I am an officer of the law. It is my duty to uncover the truth.
Please, you cannot say anything to Madame. She is against staff relationships of any kind. In her eyes, a relationship between staff is nothing more than a distraction.
But he means so much more to you.
Oh, officer, I have found my soulmate.
Necessitated a change of music. That is
At first,
amusing.
There was nothing more than pleasantries around the grounds. But that quickly changed. I know it's not proper for a young lady to pursue a gentleman. But once I knew his feelings
Much different
reciprocated
time
my
period.
own, why shouldn't I have followed my heart?
Love transcends professional and societal rules.
The mere thought of him was enough to make me blush. But I knew that Madame would never give her blessing. If we wanted to continue, we would have to do so in secret. The summer evenings here are just so beautiful. I often find myself walking around the grounds after my daily duties are complete. And it was one such evening that Luke was waiting for me at the gazebo. He looked ever so handsome. And the poem he had prepared. He had barely started reading and I was already a blubbering mess. Standing there beneath the warm glow of the falling sun, he asked for my hand, and I gave him my heart with no hesitation. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I've been chattering on for so long. You have much more pressing matters than to listen to me rambling aimlessly.
One should never apologize for such a charming and bewitching story of love. But you are correct. While the culprit still eludes us, my work is not yet complete.
Investigation continues.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Let's see. There is a connection here that is not.
Magnifique.
Yep. Why? Cleaning right to reach into the chimney. But why?
Come, my little grey cells.
Worth a shot. Let's see.
Order and method.
That's irrelevant to this particular section. Set.
I must act on thought and fact.
Oh.
Another success.
Yep. She had no opportunity to do so. Which is obvious. All that is left to do is to investigate the upstairs. The chimney. Where I suspect a particular item shall lie in wait. That picture is missing.
Oh,
What are you doing there? I wouldn't get too close. Soot is forever spitting onto the floor.
merci for the warning, mademoiselle.
The longer you're here, the further. Maman never wants to talk about him. She says it's too hard, but she acts more like she doesn't even care he's gone.
I'm sure that is not the case. It must have been very hard for her, for you both.
I miss him every day. He always knew how to put a smile on my face. I remember how much fun we would have, all three of us. In the summer, Father and I would play hide and seek while Maman read. She always helped me though whenever it was his turn to hide. I would stand in the gazebo, cover my eyes and count, and when I turned, he was nowhere to be seen. Maman would lower her book and flash a look towards his hiding spot. After I found him, he clapped and cheered as though I had won a gold medal. When I was hiding, it didn't matter where I was. He could never find me. I always thought I was an expert hider, but when I think back now, I know he was letting me win. He always said my smile was prize enough for him. He always knew just what to say.
I'm sure he would want you to be smiling today, even under such circumstances.
Maman is never happy with anything these days. Also, Florette does have a habit of not doing things exactly how Maman wants them done.
And how does she react when she sees Florette not doing things the correct way?
Maman has the temperament of a kicked cat. Florette has often been on the wrong side of it.
That is how she responded today?
She was shouting at her, and when Florette would not admit she took the bracelet, Maman really lost her temper. I have not seen her that angry before.
You have been of great help to...
How to distract her. There's the new one.
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the...
Well,
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
naturally.
Aha. Aha.
Hello. Good morning. Let's see. Try again.
What are you doing there?
Merci for the... Huh.
I could.
Oh.
Nope, this is all stuff that I've already checked before. How am I to distract her?
The longer you are here,
Yeah, there's.
You have been...
Maybe something in there. Because I need to investigate that fireplace, but she can't be there.
Really, officer?
Merci, madame.
Well, time to turn to the only source of useful information. Again. Maybe Elizabeth will help. Maybe.
Certainly, officer.
Merci.
You have failed me! Why, Elizabeth? No! But there has to be a way to... How to... Because there's no options to talk to her. So I'd have to find... there has to be something new in the room that I can interact with.
Huh.
That's what I already knew that. Blue block, I already knew that. Nope, nope. these items are things that I was able to... And I can't talk to her to say something to
The
distract
longer
her.
you are here, the further the criminal.
See,
You have been.
so there must be somewhere else, or something else. There's only one other character I haven't talked to see if there's a way. And that's Florette, down in the lounge. Can't go into that other room. Did I ever investigate the kitchen? Was I ever allowed to investigate the kitchen? Nope, I am not.
Huh.
That was to there. You have
Anything
information.
to.
No, you do not.
Merci.
Okay.
Oh.
Ah, there we go. That's new.
Ah.
The wine connoisseur has to be.
Anything to.
Merci.
Now I need to go and talk to everybody again to try and establish that particular connection, although I suspect that I speak to Florette about... Or not Florette,
Really,
Angelica.
Merci.
Will the most helpful person in the game so far tell me the information that I desire?
Certainly, officer.
Merci.
That's twice you failed me, Elizabeth. Is it gonna presume it's a jump in logic?
The longer you are here,
You have been.
Interesting. And the presence of the wine bottle does not assist. Wait. No. Nevertheless, I will not be deterred. I will figure this out.
Mhm. Aha.
There to be concerned with.
Oh.
So it doesn't work.
Hmm.
The thing that has not been
Ah.
touched upon. Kitchen can't go. I'm clear. I have to be missing something. But the garden I know is complete. Let's see, the Elizabeth's secret is complete in the ground. Oh, I see. It's got to be something in that room because it makes no sense that I'd have to go to a different room that has a different set of things to bring back. The only other option is that I again missed something in the lounge, the newest room. Like I missed the wine bottle, which proved to be mostly useless. Let's see if there's wine bottle.
Huh.
Yeah, that we'd already seen. The note. Poker stand. Final demand. Ah. Okay, yeah, there's nothing that has been missed in here, to my knowledge. No connections to be made. No connections to be made. No connections to be made. I find it odd that I cannot ask about that. Nope. I must simply be missing something. Feel like it's obvious, but at the same time, I simply am not seeing it, I guess. Nothing at the top. Nothing on the coat. Rectangular dust recess. Photograph of my father. The open window. The broken glass. Oh, nothing I can do. Really box I already clicked on. Cleaning rag, I can't. So when I try to click the fireplace, now it's time to confirm my suspicions.
What are you doing there? I wouldn't get too close. Soot is forever spitting onto the floor.
Merci for the warning, mademoiselle.
I must find a way to distract Mademoiselle Angeline if I am to confirm my theory. But how do I do that? It's gonna make me do something that I didn't want to do, isn't it? Act. And I believe I have discovered it.
Huh.
There it is. A missing painting, which is now what's going to connect everything together for the auction. I just thought that was an assumed. So now we have something to speak to her about.
Really, officer, you are wasting.
Merci.
Oh, I have to make the connections first. Okay, where's the new one? Missing painting, auction grade.
Another success. I never doubted my... Things are beginning to become...
Sandra in desperate need of money.
The pieces of the puzzle are
Valuables
finally
are
coming together.
insured. What has not been sold has been recently insured. There we go. Now we accuse her of that.
Really, officer? If you have something to ask, officer, I suggest you stop wasting my time further and just get on with it. And this is how she repays me? I will not be happy until I see her sufficiently punished. I am glad you have finally come to your senses and have seen her guilt. It is challenging at times, I will
Flattery.
admit. But I can assure you, the Van den Bosch name is as strong and prevalent as it has always been. I have tried my best to provide for Angeline, although sometimes she may not see it that way. She is not to know about what we have discussed. It is my burden to carry.
You are accepting the hand you have been dealt and raising a fine young mademoiselle. That is all that can be asked of you.
And you have done nothing but bother my staff and my family. I cannot stand here any longer and listen to this second-rate officer speaking such drivel.
Good riddance. Before she makes haste for the door. Tiniest little bit. actually, we have another connection before we move on. Let's see. Where's the newest piece of evidence? Right. Is it that?
This will not get me any closer to my...
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Don't see any particular connections here. At least not ones that haven't already been taken care of.
Is there something...
That should... Ow. Meow.
I cannot see the logic in this.
That's
Some
an odd
would say a
connection.
lucky guess. What a revelation!
Naturally. So I can actually go and inform Miss Fleurette of her innocence. And that no charges will be pressed toward her, regardless of what her mistress expects or demands. That will put her at ease.
Anything to show. She never used to be such a witch. When the Viscount was alive, she was much nicer. He was the head of the house, he gave the orders, and he treated us right. I would have gone long ago, monsieur, but my family can't afford for me to be picky about my employment.
I was not aware you were supporting your family, and at such a young age.
Papa lost his job at the factory just before he left for good, so Mama had to work even more. I was old enough, so I went to work. When I joined the Vandenbosch house, the Viscount was very kind. I didn't think he would care, but he wanted to help. He gave me some extra in my first pay pack, enough to keep the landlord from kicking Mama out at least. No one had ever been that nice before. I didn't know what to say, but all he wanted me to do was work hard for her. He even let me to go home and visit Mama and my brothers at Christmas, with a food parcel from the kitchen. Mama said she had never seen so much food. It's always been hard for her. Even before he left for good, Papa wasn't around much, and even when he was, we both wished he wasn't. My brothers were too young to remember what he was like, I hope. When I walked in Mama's house, everything seemed so much smaller. I must have got too used to the size of this house. I swear, you could fit our house in just this lounge. We didn't have much, but we didn't want for much. It was simple and it was home.
The valuables in the house do not determine the love it shares.
Someone should tell Madame that. Not that she'd listen anyways.
I will uncover the truth of what happened today, mademoiselle. That, I promise you. Merci. I shall take...
There we go. And now we can go investigate upstairs. If anything, this prologue has been a lesson to literally scour walls for things to click on. Because you could miss something as easy and as obvious as a missing painting. And that be the linchpin you needed for everything. Just now facing the opposite direction.
The longer you're here,
You have been of great... Oh.
Inside a rectangular metal tin.
Is there something I am not... I cannot see the logic in this.
Has to be here. And
Order and method. That is the way. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
not a connection. That really makes a lot of sense. Now all of them are completed. The only thing left is to confront Angelique.
The longer you're here, the
You have been...
Who am I supposed to speak to now? Oh, Elizabeth. Odd to speak to Elizabeth and not Angeline to confront her of her guilt, but okay. I can already see how everything is interconnected, though.
Certainly, officer. You have found the culprit. And the
Ah, I
bracelet.
see.
Everything will be revealed in good time. Would you be so kind as to gather everyone in the lounge?
Of course.
It's the quintessential
Merci,
bring everything
Mademoiselle Elizabeth,
together.
for gathering everyone. Will Madame Van den Bosch be joining us shortly?
She stormed past me not long ago, and I have not seen her return.
Very well. Under usual circumstances, I would wait. But I think we have spent enough time on this matter, n'est-ce pas? We shall have to proceed without her. This morning started like any other. My usual ordinary patrol, until I was approached by Mademoiselle Elizabeth about a suspected burglary and a missing bracelet.
A crime I've been falsely blamed for.
That I shall come to. I began my investigation outside, but it was not long before I realized there were no signs of an intruder. So I turned my focus to those in the house. You, Florette, Your time here at the house has not always been the easiest for you, shall we say.
I do what Madame tells me.
And to the highest standard, I presume.
Madame's standards are very high. I do my best.
And you would at least expect fair treatment for the work, not to be spoken to in such a cruel and vicious way.
Monsieur?
I refer to how poorly Madame Van den Bosch treats you. You are at her beck and call, and she does nothing but belittle you.
That is Maman you're talking about. Just wait until...
It is nothing but the truth I speak, mademoiselle.
She has no response.
All the while, mademoiselle stands by and does not even notice such cruelty. That must have angered you. Perhaps you thought it was time they deserved some retribution.
He does this on purpose to make the guilty party lower their guard.
Stop trying to put words in her mouth.
I am merely giving her a voice, one that has been silenced for so long.
Maybe I do think she deserves it. She's had the world handed to her on a plate, and the likes of me get nothing.
A motive begins to rear its head.
You're just trying to get me to admit to something. Well, I've done nothing.
Allow me to finish. I am sure you will want to hear what follows. Let us return to this morning.
I was only trying to help Lizzie.
You must have known how Madame would have reacted to your late return, especially with her prior treatment of you.
She's angry at whatever I do.
But nonetheless, you were willing to help a colleague, a friend, knowing what the repercussions could be. And that show of loyalty to your friend has been the thing that proved your innocence.
Monsieur?
Because of such willingness to help, you were delayed in town, meaning you had no viable way of taking the bracelet from Mademoiselle Angeline's room. There was simply no opportunity.
Zero.
I told you! Maybe now Madame will believe me.
It is evidence not even she can ignore. Which then leads us to Mademoiselle Elisabeth. Mademoiselle Elisabeth, you have been with the Van den Bosch family for quite some time now, correct?
That is correct.
You have grown close with both ladies of the house and your fellow members of the house staff, would you say?
Of course. And I certainly hope they feel the same.
You yourself told me Madame Van den Bosch would not stand for it, and you would both be out of a job.
Elizabeth? What is he talking about?
A love that is reminiscent of Romeo and Juliet, one that must remain hidden from the world from fear of expulsion.
If you don't stop, I will tell Maman. You can't speak to her like that.
It may be a tone you do not like, but it is no worse than your maman's ruling that forced them into secrecy to begin with.
I'm sorry. This isn't how I wanted you to find out. We couldn't risk Madame finding out. I don't know what we would do without this house.
What are you talking about, Elizabeth?
Luke and I, we're in love.
Luke? The gardener? But why wouldn't you tell me?
For fear of Madame and her rule, and if neither of you had employment, there would be no way to pay for a wedding, perhaps.
It was never our plan to go behind yours or Madame's back. You must believe me.
You two are to wed?
Yes. Well, no. Not today, as Officer Poirot suspects. Please, it's not what you think.
It is not always what one thinks, or how something may appear, rather where the evidence points. And that is to Mademoiselle Angeline.
You can't believe I would hide my own bracelet.
Except you did.
I have nothing to say.
Whoa. Oh!
How dare you speak to me like that? You have no idea what you're talking about. You can't actually believe I would hide my own jewelry.
If you didn't, explain to me how your memento tin with the bracelet inside came to be lodged inside the chimney of your bedroom fireplace.
You have no proof I put it there.
Besides you being the only one in the room alone, even after finding the bracelet, I still did not know why you had done it. Until I contemplated why Madame was selling so many heirlooms and art.
You had no right to snoop through our house in the first place.
When it is part of my investigation, I have every right, mademoiselle. The unpaid bills and final notice from the telephone company.
Maman can do what she wants with her art. That means nothing.
But when there was no more art to sell, what then? You could not risk her taking your father's bracelet and selling it. So, you staged a burglary pretending it had been taken, preventing her from selling it. Then you stood back as the innocent Florette paid the price.
She didn't think about me at all. She was going to take my bracelet and sell it off. It would have just ended up on some old wrinkly wrist. I didn't think Maman would blame her. I didn't think she would do anything.
But she did. And somehow that evidently didn't cross your mind. When Madame returns, you shall have it all to explain.
Maman can't know what I have done. She will be furious.
But Mademoiselle Florette will be proved innocent. And that is what is important. No crime has been committed, so I see no reason why this should continue any longer. It is time you considered the consequences of your actions. And now, you must face them head on.
Maman, you're home.
Of course I am. And I've brought someone that will bring some order to this chaos.
A major in the army has no authority.
Major, I can assure you I have the situation under control.
From what I have heard, you are far from it.
The missing bracelet has been found, and the guilty party has been identified.
I am well aware that the maid-servant was behind it all. And yet I see her standing as free and innocent as you and me.
I am sure Madame Van den Bosch has informed you of her suspicions, but I'm afraid it was merely speculation.
Excuse me?
After conducting a full investigation, the evidence and facts led me to deduce...
Oh, just throw Angeline immediately under the bus, or...
I certainly hope you are not accusing my daughter of...
I'm sorry, Maman. He's right. Florette is innocent. I just wanted to show you.
Shh, girl. I will not have you guilted into taking the blame for that sticky-fingered girl.
Officer Poirot, a word. Madame Van den Bosch was forced to make her way to inform me, alone, I might add, of the goings-on at the house today.
Major, with all due respect, she was impeding the investigation.
This may be how some officers act in the city, but here we show respect to our citizens. You are an officer of the law and should act as such. Insubordination like this will not be tolerated.
As the ranking officer, I have conducted my investigation and...
Ranking officer? Ha! You are an auxiliary officer. You have little authority over anyone, let alone a major. You would be wise to remember who is close friends with your commanding officer. After what I have heard of your past in the city, I'm sure he would look upon today's events as another failure at the hands of Officer Poirot.
Oui, Major.
Now I suggest you do your duty and escort the maidservant to the station where she can be formally charged and a sufficient punishment handed out.
Right away.
Welcome to British justice, where the upper society get what they want,
I'm
and
sorry,
anyone
Mademoiselle.
else is
This not the
trampled
outcome I
over.
expected.
Maman was right. will always pay the price for the upper class's actions.
We will do everything we can to clear your name.
What can you do now? Madame said I'm guilty of a crime and I'll be punished. That's that.
A crime that was never committed. Once the truth is explained, this wrong shall be set right.
Angeline did not intend for you to be arrested. Surely you know her better than that.
I should have known better than to expect anything else. Justice and fairness don't reach the likes of me.
What you saw today was not justice. In the eyes of the law, you are innocent and have been harshly treated and wrongly accused. No one will be going to jail.
But that doesn't help my employment, does it?
That I cannot save. But your freedom, I shall make sure of that.
And I see. This is the This is a created point about why he leaves law enforcement and becomes a private investigator. I see.
Detective Poirot, I trust this finds you well. It has been many years since our paths last crossed, and while I'm sure your recollection of the events may differ from mine, I hope that receiving this letter has not rekindled a sense of animosity toward myself or the Van der Bosch name. The impression you made is something that has stayed with me since that day. It compelled me to reconsider the spoilt young lady I would have inevitably become and helped shape me into the woman I wished to be. You made me see the childish and selfish girl in me that did not consider the consequences of her actions or how they may affect others. Although Maman may see the events of that day differently, I believe the compassion you showed for our mate Florette, as well as the drive to uncover the truth and accept no alternative, was a testament to your character and professionalism. Although I wish it were under different circumstances, your assistance is once again required, and I hope you will consider this as my formal request for your service. This forthcoming weekend was due to be one full of joy and happiness at the announcement of my engagement to Gideon Demir, whom I love dearly, bringing together two illustrious families, but it has been shadowed by deceit, extortion, and blackmail. The Van der Bosch name is being held to ransom by a mysterious party, and I am afraid I do not know who I can and cannot trust. We are holding a small gathering to celebrate our exciting news with what Maman calls the dignified elite, those that are well respected and held in high regard in both our close inner circle and society. Our private matters have always remained just that, so I fear one of those invited may be the person who is out to ruin our name, but for reasons I cannot fathom. I have enclosed a first-class rail ticket for you to join us for the announcement, and having contacted your superiors and the correct authorities to request your assistance, which they were more than happy to grant me, I shall expect your arrival with great anticipation. There shall be a carriage waiting for you at the station to bring you directly to Mnemosyne House.
Ah, so this is... Okay.
I thank you in advance
Time
in
jump,
our
he
time
is
of
now a
crisis.
private investigator
Yours
and not
respectfully,
a
Angeline Van der Bosch.
police officer anymore. Meaning he is under no one's authority except his own. And his client, which is Angelina Van Bosch. Interesting. Chapter 1. The Black Veil. I have finally arrived. My priority is to get out of the spitter cold before I freeze completely. New mind map. I must not get distracted by the celebrations. I was brought here to uncover the identity of Mademoiselle Angeline's blackmailer, and that is exactly what I shall do. Ah, we know quite a bit already. Or we have questions. Letter, police orders, and the house. That's amusing. Shuffle through the snow. And of course, the ever awful Cassandra. No shovel service or anything, so they're still quite impoverished.
Bonjour, my name is Hercule Poirot. I am here at the invitation of Mademoiselle Angeline.
Ah, Detective Poirot. We have been expecting you. Please
Ah,
come in from
Archibald.
this frightful cold.
Merci. I don't think I would have lasted much longer out here before turning into an icicle.
Welcome. I am Archibald Sterling. the
Ah,
head butler.
Sterling.
Please accept my apologies. I have a rather pressing matter, but I will see that you are attended to immediately.
Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. I am sure I am more than capable of finding my room. I shall straighten myself up and be ready to join the party.
There is no rush, Detective. Dinner will not be served for some time, so please, make yourself comfortable. Once you have settled in, I am sure that Miss Angeline will be happy to see you. She has been eager for your arrival. She's not been herself recently.
Worry will do that.
You will be staying on the first floor. I believe your room is one of the two on the west side of the house.
Merci. I am sure we shall speak again soon.
He disappears, and then I have new mind map. Locate room, get settled in. First floor, westward. Archibald stressed because of party, probably. Possibly innocence.
Ah.
Interesting. The male guests are in the east wing, but I am situated. I could speak to you, but I have no desire to do so.
Oh. Aha. Huh.
Yeah. Right, valuable and delicate. Nothing on the clock. Just zoom out to make sure. Save myself the embarrassment. Okay.
Bonjour. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Detective Hercule Poirot.
Detective, I hope you're not here for me.
Yes, you can tell from the low button that he is some sort of
Not that I am aware of. Should I be?
fashion figure celebrity type.
Ha! Ha ha! Not often you meet a detective with a sense of humor. I'm Zakaria Demir, but you can call me Zach.
Mr. Demir.
If I had seen them, maybe I would have. It is meant to be their celebration, but they're always off, dealing with something or other.
Something or other? A rather vague expression.
Let's just say they like to keep their cards close to their chest. For such a well-known family, I'm surprised they can keep anything hidden.
Would you care to elaborate on what Mademoiselle may be hiding?
I'd rather not. You're the detective, isn't that your job?
The overwhelming
Pity,
urge to
Mr.
smack some
Demier.
of these people. Ha!
You'll be lucky. I've been waiting for a refill for ages. I came out here to find someone myself.
Ah, I see. The preparations for this evening's dinner must have taken precedence.
I've seen that butler running around like a madman, but there is still no party to speak of. It's pretty clear they need to hire a few more hands.
I shall take up no more of your time.
Let's see. Various rooms. I should. Cannot enter, cannot enter. I could go upstairs, or I could go into other rooms on this floor. Let's go into a small room. The door is locked, so I cannot enter either of those just yet. And these rooms do not pertain to the investigation, and they're therefore barred.
Huh.
I like how he just simply knows that. Okay, before heading upstairs, let us check the little grey cells and see if there is anything down here that will link together. We have two. There is two. Very few staff. Staff are very busy.
Come, my little grey cells. We must think.
Well, then the other option is here.
I must take a different approach if I am to.
Interesting. That's not going to be anything.
Magnifique.
The only other option. Due to lack of staff. Yes.
I must act on thought and fact. This will not get me any closer.
Curious.
This will not get me any
Oh.
Another success. The pieces of the
Naturally.
puzzle are fine.
Technically, I would say these can link, but the game does not. The game does not agree. That is everything for the ground floor. Let us go upstairs. There's a further upstairs, but there is no pertaining. Top floor in European households are pretty much reserved for family or extremely close friends. It's actually an interesting concept where the position of the master bedroom, or in this case the madam's room, you have the rooms, the bedrooms are then assigned based on proximity to the master, or in this case mistress of the house. So the heir or heiress at this point will be the next closest room, then a few reserved that for visiting family, and then close friends, and so on, moving farther and farther away from there. It's an old medieval concept to protect the people that are most important away from assassination. Auctioneer's receipt. I hope she isn't finding it necessary to sell belongings again. It'd be hilarious to just find some random tidbit of a sold bracelet. I think she is buying now, not selling. Seven Saints. You can tell because of the mosaic halo glows.
Oh.
Ooh, water damage. That's not good. A room that is not pertinent. Possibly a ballroom? Or... I can't imagine a ballroom being on a second floor. Northeast and southeast quarters. Not pertinent.
Ooh.
Just yet. Ah. I may end up returning here. Curiouser and curiouser. A room I may not enter, and then a room I may enter. Ah, yes. I forgot to mention. So the butler said that Hercule's room was on the first floor. Now you may be wondering why I went upstairs. Here in America, the first floor is also the floor that is sitting on top of the ground. But in Europe, the bottom floor of a house, which is effectively floor 0, is the ground floor. And then the first floor is the one above that. So when they said first floor, I had to go up one flight of stairs. So this should be Hercule's room. What do we have? Perfume bottles. Compliments of the family. Fitting for a female. Did they leave some cologne? Which is basically the same thing, but you select different scents for male and female. All the fires are burning quite well, even in rooms that are not as of yet occupied. A changing screen. To hide anyone's modesty while changing, because changing screens were important, because especially if you were visiting another person's house, because you could not presume that a servant or someone else would not enter with little to no announcement. But now that we are here, that should be everything on top. Let's see. Saints and speak to Angeline. There is still a connection. Perfume bottle, changing screen.
I must take a different approach if I am...
Audible music.
I cannot see the logic in this. Is there something I am not...
Ow.
Things
The
are
room was
beginning
meant
to
for a
become
woman,
clearer.
not for Hercule.
I should not be surprised by my own...
sent me to the wrong room. And now we shall investigate the bedroom to see whom it might have been meant for. Ah, the cupboard. A pillow? Luggage. That'll settle it. A card hidden under the pillow indicates Hugo would like Miss Conrad to speak with him. Add luggage. No tag, but it must belong to one of the guests. Before departing, do another quick scan. Nope. Let's see. Inspect the ground floor hall. There is no new connections to be made. This is the incorrect room. We shall depart. Downstairs. Ah, someone to speak to. More important.
You must be Detective Poirot. Welcome. Allow me to introduce myself. Gideon Demir.
The fiancé to Mademoiselle Angeline. The pleasure is all mine.
Ah.
Angeline spoke so highly of you. It sounds as though you are the man that can sort this terrible mess out.
So this is the fiancé.
I am, monsieur. You have my word.
Mostly friends of the family. A couple of business associates of mine. Quite a mix from all walks of life.
With regards to the blackmailing, can they be trusted, or should they be considered suspects?
Angeline is struggling to trust anyone right now. But Madame Vandenbosch, as it is her house, thought it was best for us to have them all present.
And they will all be staying in the house?
Yes, it is a rather full house. All 6 guests will be staying on this floor. The family resides on the 2nd floor.
The one above.
As does Felix.
I will be sure to speak with them all. However, I will keep my identity and purpose for being here hidden, at least until I have made my initial introductions.
I'm afraid that ship may have already sailed. Once the Comtesse gets wind of something, a detective coming to the house, for example, you can bet everyone will know. She tries her best to keep everyone else happy, but I can see it is taking its toll.
Quite understandable. She is feeling the burden of the family that is not hers to carry.
Angeline has
Very
spoken
fair.
with her mother. She has asked if there is anything that could be used against her, but she was just so dismissive.
And what are your
Typical.
thoughts on the matter?
I do not want to overstep my position, but if there is something that could damage not only the Vandenbosch name, but our future, Angeline deserves to know.
Very fair.
That is a very diplomatic answer.
Heh.
You have met Madame. You know it is best to not get on her wrong side.
I could not help noticing an air of antipathy when mentioning the Major.
You are very observant, Detective. You would be wise to keep that perceptive nature while you're here.
I'm sure you are correct. But I'd like to return to your feelings towards the Major.
He has been a good friend to Madame Vandenbosch over the years, but that does not make him a good man.
True.
Or suitable to involve himself in family affairs.
True.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to prepare for the...
Intriguing. I guess residing on the 1st floor. There are no new connections. I suspect that the Madame is conducting her own independent investigation with her friend, the Major. Side quest. No connections. Shall speak with
Mademoiselle
that.
Angeline, it is a pleasure to see you again.
Detective, how wonderful you are here. Your travel was not too arduous, I hope?
Watching from my carriage window, I saw the beautiful countryside and rolling hills. It was anything but taxing.
I'm truly thankful you could make it here at such late notice.
No thanks are required, mademoiselle. When one is requested personally, there is nothing more important.
Seems the staff have almost run off their feet today. Is it always like this?
Gideon and I only wanted a small dinner to celebrate our engagement, but Maman was adamant on throwing this party. It may have been her idea, but it's the staff that have made it happen. Their efforts do not go unnoticed, from me at least. They have been with us for so long. I do my best to make sure they are happy and content.
She definitely has changed. Haha!
Oh, detective, I'm afraid I just don't know.
I suspect she will make a reappearance.
She was quite adamant at the police station that she would not be returning to the house, but I assumed she would at least collect her belongings.
Maman demanded that Elizabeth pack up everything she had and dispose of it.
As if the poor girl had not already lost enough.
But I couldn't let that happen. Elizabeth and I took her belongings, what little there was of them, to a friend of hers in the town that Elizabeth knew of. But not even she had heard from her. I wanted to contact her, but I had no address or telephone number.
Surely Madame must have had some information when she employed her.
You saw how Maman was. As soon as Fleurette was out of sight of the house, it was as though she had never been there at all. Elizabeth was most upset at the news Fleurette would not be returning.
And your mama's choice to ignore her accountability for the girl stopped you searching.
Please, detective, you cannot make me feel any worse than I already do. If I could go back and live that day again, you must believe me, I would never have done it.
Mademoiselle Jean has finally accepted responsibility and is remorseful for her actions that day and the consequences that followed. I am pleased to see a maturity in her, but that does not help young Fleurette wherever she may be.
Only Maman, Elizabeth, my beloved Gideon, and you, of course.
And what is your fiancé's opinion of the letters?
I suspect the Major is also aware.
He thinks me foolish for paying the first one if there is no secret to reveal. But
But you believe there may be a secret lurking, one that Maman is herself keeping hidden.
she tells me nothing. Even though I'm a grown woman on the verge of marriage, she still treats me like the child I once was.
Parents do that.
Perhaps it is out of love that she protects you. It is in every mother's nature to protect their young from hurt.
The relationship between Madame and Mademoiselle is obviously far from perfect. She should treasure the time she has with Mademoiselle Angeline before she is wed and has flown the nest.
Not a single person. I don't know anyone that would stoop so low.
The guests that will be joining us tonight, they are ones you can trust?
I hope so, detective. Before the letters arrived, I would not have thought twice about it.
They are all close friends of yours, I assume.
Friends and colleagues. Gideon has spoken positively about them. It would be a rather underhanded tactic to do such a thing to someone you are doing business with.
Mademoiselle seems naive to the nature of business. It can be ruthless and unapologetic, very true. Perhaps I should not overlook them as suspects as quickly as Mademoiselle has.
Yes, Maman has quite a collection, although they are not all to my taste. Most, in fact.
The painting of the saints, in particular, it is quite exquisite. Is it connected to the house in some way?
The one in the hall? If you look above your bedroom door, you will see one of their names. I believe they were originally carved to watch over the occupant.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall find you if there is anything further I need.
Ah, quite a bit of information. As well as the location of my own room. Hercule's, of course. Let us check for connections. There is none. None to be made here. None to be made here. Oh. I don't even have to enter it to see. There is one here. Plaques above the doors. Guest
Order and
setting.
method. That is the way to.
Now, that connects
Some
directly
would
here.
say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
7 saints, 7 rooms.
What a revelation.
There we go. All the first floor rooms are accounted for. The missing door is hidden elsewhere. One door missing,
Magnifique.
and it's a secret. That is a very inspiring map of connected ideas already. Nothing new. We must speak to Zakaria.
Detective, it looks as though I might be out here all weekend. What can I do for you? I'm a guest. I shouldn't have to go around chasing them.
Perhaps the party preparation is more of a priority.
It's not my fault they aren't ready. Why don't I wait here while you check in the butler's pantry in the east corridor? I think I saw a maid go in there earlier.
And you didn't just talk to her then?
I shall take up no more of your time. À bientôt.
Investigate the butler pantry. Right there. How much you want to bet it's Elizabeth? Haha! Everything is as I had foreseen.
Ah, Mademoiselle Elizabeth. What a pleasure to see you again.
Detective Poirot, I'm so glad you could make it.
Unfortunately, it is not purely for pleasure that I am here. Mademoiselle Angeline requires my attention professionally.
Yes, Angeline has told me. I'm glad she called upon you, Detective. I've been rather worried about her.
I will do everything I can to find the blackmailer and bring them to justice.
I have every faith in you.
I hope I am not interrupting you.
We're all very busy, as I'm sure you can imagine. After I'm done, I can come to your room and help you with any further questions. Ah yes, guests are requested to sign the book when arriving. I believe it gives details to the guests' room locations.
It stated the male guests are to be staying in the east wing.
Yes, Madame does not believe in male and female guests residing beside one another. No one escorted you! I'm so sorry, everyone is just so frantic at the moment. Madame has requested all staff prepare for this evening.
Of course she did.
And you have been tasked with jobs in the pantry. Surely your talents could be used elsewhere.
I do as Madame asks. Well, as Archie asks.
Monsieur Sterling. Yes, I met him when I arrived. A charming gentleman. He did give me some rather vague instructions to find my room, though.
I can only apologise on his behalf. He would be mortified. I'm afraid I cannot be of much more help, but I believe you are located next to Mr. De Silva. By all means, the house is yours to explore.
I suppose you should not take Monsieur Sterling's lack of directions personally. Considering the amount of work the staff have been tasked with, at least now I have permission to further roam the house.
Yes, I'm afraid it may be all for show, though. She has not been herself, and it is not only I that have noticed.
Madame Vandenbosch. Surely it must have had some effect on her.
Madame has carried on as though nothing has happened. She has never been one to show emotion, and she doesn't seem to notice how it has affected Angeline. The staff, on the other hand... Angeline means no harm, but there have been some instances recently where she has acted rather sharply with them.
I hope not too sharply. A house of 2 Madame Vandenbosches would surely be too much for anyone.
Oh, yes, well, I'm afraid it is far from a happy ending. Luke is sadly no longer with us.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, mademoiselle, I was not aware.
It's fine, Detective, honestly. I'm sorry, but I really must finish this.
Bien sûr, mademoiselle.
For a man that has his mind so brilliant and astute, I have made an easy job of embarrassing myself. Let this be a reminder to use one's gray cells before speaking.
Merci, mademoiselle.
The pleasure is mine, Detective.
Anything in the room worth looking around at? Wait. Pots and pens. I suspect this room had only one purpose.
Oh.
We may return, but for now it only has the purpose of...
Before you leave, Detective, I have something for you beside the furnace here from Angeline. She wanted me to give it to you on your arrival.
Merci, mademoiselle.
A letter. Excellent. More information. Mademoiselle Vandenbosch, you were wise to take me seriously. You have bought my silence, for a moment at least. Your family's privacy obviously means a great deal to you if you're willing to pay to keep your secrets hidden, and continue to pay you will. Would your maman be as willing to part with her wealth? You will bring a second parcel with another 5,000 francs to the cobblers, this time addressed to a Monsieur Fortain by close on Friday. You have done your family a service by keeping this arrangement to yourself. I'm sure I do not have to tell you what would happen if the police are involved, and I hope it will not come to that. Another threat. Able to read the letters that were sent. Great tale to learn for them, and hopefully some clues to the author.
What a revelation!
Same style of pen that wrote is present. Speak to Elizabeth about that. Let us check the other ones first. 0, 0, 0, 0. Now speak to Elizabeth
Of
again.
course, Detective. I would not say it in front of the Major, but it is rather hideous. It was a gift from him to Madame from his time overseas. I don't think it even has the capability of writing.
A pen that does not write is like a fish that cannot swim.
Completely worthless.
As Angeline
Useless ornament. It's the thought that counts, I suppose.
Merci, mademoiselle.
The pleasure is mine, Detective.
Did I get something new from that? Nothing of value. We shall return. Room that is not pertinent.
What can I help you with? I was right to pay it, yes? You have read them. What do you think?
You were wise to consult me, but bowing to their threat may have only shown that you are willing to pay for their silence. Is the secret they speak of worth so much?
I wish I could, but I have no idea. The letter was addressed to me, but I have nothing to hide. Maman took one look at it and disregarded the whole thing as someone's idea of a joke.
She looked at it. She is not aware of the second letter.
She doesn't know I paid the first. I thought I could make it all go away.
Did you ask Madame if there was a family secret they could be privy to?
She said I was to ignore the letters and stop wasting my time with such foolishness. If there was something, she wouldn't tell me anyway.
It appears Mademoiselle believes her maman's attempt to brush away the serious nature of this letter as little as I do.
I couldn't ask Maman for the money. She was angry that I had even considered paying it. Gideon offered to help.
Pardon, did he not think you foolish for paying?
He did, but he said he couldn't stand by and watch me in so much distress.
How honorable.
We are soon to be married, Detective. A loving partnership that faces their troubles together. They are his words.
I did not mean anything by it, mademoiselle. You have found yourself a husband that will stand by your side and do what must be done to protect you. I am most pleased for you.
As you would expect, she has been in quite a state. It was such a terrible accident.
Yes, by accident.
She kept it to herself for almost a week before she even told me.
Pardon, how could you not know? Surely his absence from the house was noticed.
Maman fired him after he returned to the house. She said he could not be trusted.
But Mademoiselle Elizabeth's position was kept?
I begged Maman for them both, but she said if he was willing to go behind her back, what else could he do?
Falling in love is a far cry from committing even the smallest crime, n'est-ce pas?
Cruel and unnecessary decision by Madame Van de Bush. She had no right to fire him and tear him away from his betrothed.
She has been a kind shoulder to lean on through all this mess, but it is her I worry about. She has been through so much.
I was not aware of what had happened, and by mentioning, I fear I may have only made it worse by dredging up the past.
Do not punish yourself, Detective. You are not to know. I don't think your honest mistake will make much difference to how she has been feeling recently.
It's easier said than done. I have already seen a difference in Mademoiselle Elizabeth. She was once so exuberant and optimistic, seeing the positives in everything and everyone, but now I fear the loss of her love and the careless reminder from moi may have dampened her outlook.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall find you if there is anything further I need.
And new connections. There's one there, 0, 0, and 1. So the letters. Ornamental.
I must act on thought and... Come, my little grey cells.
Let's see.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Staff concerned for Angeline and Madame unaware. Ah. So then we should have one here as well. That's unknown. Unsure of the mage's intention.
Come, my little grey cells.
Oh, come on. That's definitely connected.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Let's see how broken Elizabeth is. There is still a connection. Ah.
I cannot see the logic in this. I must take a different approach if...
The fact that my phone has yet to stop beeping is really obnoxious.
order and method. That
Really? How is Elizabeth mourning for Luke comparable?
I should not be surprised by my
I
own
feel like
skills
you're
of
just
deduction.
expected to just guess at these. There are no more. So now I can speak to Zakaria again.
Detective. Is that what he said? I can barely understand most of what he says with that accent.
I can understand Monsieur Sterling perfectly, but Monsieur Demure is one more vin rouge away from becoming unintelligible.
I find his accent rather pleasant, reassuring.
I guess. Not too helpful when it comes to finding your room, though. You'll probably be the lucky one that has that hideous plant outside the door.
I shall take up no more of it.
Nope, that's everything for here. Now we shall go in and speak with Gideon once more.
Please, up. Angeline has spoken of it. You made quite the impression on her, detective.
I feel responsible for what came from that day. Florette's dismissal and Luke's.
It is not your fault. Madame Vandenbosch does not like it when her rules or authority are undermined. I try to explain to Angeline the same, but her guilt has not left her.
Episode explained the payment of the blackmail letter.
I suppose you think I was unwise to pay it?
I am glad Mademoiselle requested my help before you fell further out of pocket.
Madame Vandenbosch had no intentions of paying it, whether she believes there is a secret that could ruin the family or not.
It was an honorable move for you to make the payment. It was certainly no small fee.
Angeline is to be my wife, and then we shall be family. As far as I am concerned, my money is our money.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to prepare for tonight's celebrations.
Get anything out of that? Nope, nope, nope. Yes. Ha.
Magnifique.
See, that would make sense. Trying to redeem herself.
The pieces
Such
of the
as
puzzle
trying
are
to
finally
contact.
coming together.
That she never intended for Fleur to be fired. I believe her. There's nothing more. Now, we can pursue a direction through the house. The northeast or the southeast quarter? Oh, let's inspect the grandfather clock.
Aha.
Just in case. Let's go northeast. Luggage. Sacré Demier. Expensive luggage. Another grandfather clock.
Ah.
And this room should be silent. so- Then we shall go to the southeast quarter. More luggage.
Huh.
Mr. E. Da Silva, left unattended, and right between two front-facing rooms.
Oh.
He got stuck.
Ah.
Investigate this plant.
Huh.
All right. Think we should have enough here. His plant in
This
his
will not get
directions.
me any closer to.
Some would say a lucky guess.
Interesting. So the question is, my room, neighbors, or Ernesto's? Well, it's not there, then. Unless it's Ernesto de Silva. Hmm. Yeah. I must be missing something. I should re-examine the group of saints.
Oh.
So 2 women, 5 men. Well, 4 men and 1 other. There's the 2 women, conveniently. But who to speak to? Inspect the east rooms. So we will return to the east quarter. Let's double check the northeast. Ow. I probably need to check other plants. What? There's the plant.
Huh.
Mr. Dinia. There's a voice already there, and his luggage already here. It does not seem likely that Hercule's room is in this area. I strongly suspect it is in the other southeast. E. De Silva. Ah, I should check the guest registry. That shall tell me who the names of people are. Yes. That would make sense. Because he would not have looked at it closely enough the first time. The welcome book.
Aha.
No? Am I missing a connection? Nope, that means I am certainly just missing something that I'm supposed to click on. I doubt that it's down here. Here's what the game is telling me. I have no objectives here. Inspect the east rooms. No objectives, no objectives. So I have to just inspect east rooms. Yep. So I have to have missed something to click on. Something somewhere. Possibly outside of them.
Oh.
Do I go around and inspect more plants? No. There's an animal head, seems rather irrelevant. Curious. Shelves, lamp, chest, other plant, rug, luggage that I've already seen. Picture. I find it unfortunate that I can't use the cannot use the paintings of the saints to try and determine it, which probably makes sense. So I must check the northeastern quarter again. See if there is something that I hear that I have missed. Pretty sure.
Oh. Ah.
This room faces the back garden. It says inspect.
Hmm.
Inspect the east rooms, but I cannot get into them because of reasons. Maybe I should take the information I have back to Elizabeth. Tag on the base.
Huh.
New piece of information. Is it sufficient? It is sufficient.
I must act on thought and fact.
Oh.
Magnifique.
Spanish situation is much the same. I can speak to Gideon. But let us just double check to make sure that I can speak to Elizabeth first, and then I will return. She has nothing new to say. House deeds. That's new.
Huh.
Now that's something. Anything over there? No. Ah, curious. Nothing new as of yet. But now we have something else to speak to Gideon about.
Please, ask away, detective. As far as I'm aware, everything is in order. From what I understand, the late Viscount had made some questionable investments. But that is all in the past.
And regarding the payment of the blackmail?
Angeline does not have to worry about money anymore. I was born into some wealth, and I have earned my own fortune.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to prepare for tonight's celebrations.
And another new connection.
What a revelation!
There's an objective. So we are aware of the past. We're now still stuck on the... Ooh. That was kind of odd. The camera's getting a little on the jiggling side. Odd. Now we are back. We are back at this. Curious. Obviously, there's stuff, the house deed, but nothing that really is of value. I can't imagine that there's a thing that I've missed here, but we shall check once more. Active plant I've already done. 2 room, the door I cannot. I should confirm. Hideous plant.
Aha.
Yes, there's nothing more to learn here, so I must have to retrace steps somewhere else and find a new clue. Probably ties in with finding the other room that has a saint on it. I go upstairs, therefore I can only go downstairs. Locked dining room, locked salon, telephone. He has nothing. She has nothing. Double check the floor plan, just in case.
Hmm.
Hmm. Am I able to investigate this door? No. I'm not. Curious.
Hmm.
So there's nothing down here. Would I be able to... Oh, this-
Ah.
Inspect the east rooms. I mean, European propriety. Normal people would just enter and be like, is this one mine? No. Is this one mine? Yes. But really, it's a 1 in 4 chance. Well, actually, less than that because you know one of them's occupied. But I literally can't do anything until I find whatever singular clue I'm missing. Really gonna make me do it again, isn't it? Let's see. That's not helpful. Ah, that could be it. Let's try that. I've tried doors. What about windows? Do I even see any windows to try? I don't. Wow. That was not helpful. Of a hint. Mm, why can I not? I might. Might have to speak to him again.
Detective.
Nope.
I shall take up no.
I might have to speak to everyone
What can I
again.
help you with?
Merci, man.
Okay.
Of course, Detective.
Merci.
The pleasure is mine.
This is indeed most confusing. Come on. There we go. Speak to Gideon again.
Please, ask a...
Yeah, I got
Merci,
nothing
monsieur.
to talk to
I
anybody.
Ah. Oh.
Um, hmm. Well, I've talked to all people. I don't know which. See, it won't let me click on these small paintings here to try and investigate them, because that is clearly the way to proceed. I can't. I cannot select those and try to figure out. Like, there's
Huh.
2 front-facing rooms.
Aha.
Something is missing, and it's quite bothersome. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I probably have to find a. I have to find the other room that has the mosaic. But it's not here. There's nothing and no one.
Huh.
Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. Immediately. Steve. Steve. Blah, blah, things are already done. East. Why can't... Yeah, something's wrong. So I cannot inspect the east rooms. Get in. There's that it. Yes, some guests arrived earlier. We did that. Plant. Plant. Luggage. Clock. Door to door. Yes, I've already done that. Door. Two plants. And then just all of a sudden now the door opened. What? Okay, that's weird. Everybody knows I did nothing to affect this. So now it just all of a sudden opens. Ah. Bizarre. Bizarre. But if we hit main menu, yes. I assume if I hit continue, it will just pop me right back where I was. Double check. Double check. Yes, perfect. But yes. Oh, that was a stretch. This game is a little, curious to get used to, and it's got some obvious fallibilities in the way that it's executed. but the story is great, and I love Hercule Poirot. I binged the entire show because I loved it that much. But yeah, that is all for the Saturday morning stream for this week.